What's up, Crown Town Flag Football? It's the commish here. We're in downtown Charlotte, beautiful Romere Bearden Park. This is going to be our first episode of Crown Town Talk, so I want to welcome you to that. We've got a great show. We're going to be going over the preseason results, looking at our award winners from last season, kind of guessing who might win those this season. We'll be interviewing our very own photographer, Zeke, doing some team reviews as well, letting you guys get to know me a little bit better. I'm here with Garrick McFadden, our two-time defensive MVP. Appreciate you being on the show, but I just want to ask you a couple questions. First one's going to be kind of regarding the league, and you've been in the show or in the league since we only had 6 teams up in Lake Norman. We were playing an indoor field there, and now we're about 16, 17 teams, including our free agents. What do you think about the growth, man, and kind of what do you think is a tribute to our success and what has helped us, gain that momentum and attention from people here in Charlotte and around the city of Charlotte?
It's been good. It's been great. Like I've been here since day one, like you said. All in all, I think word of mouth has really pushed this whole league to where it is now. Everyone has been talking about it. Of course, flag football, of course, you can't really put your hands on anybody because it's all about pulling the flag, but this league is 5-on-5 contact, so a lot of people are looking for that edginess and that way to where you can actually compete and contest someone that is across from you. So really, it's amazing to see where the league has grown from 6 teams, man. Like, I remember playing the same team 3 times, almost every other week. So now it's just like, now we get to play each other and really get to see what it's all about, to where you only have 1 game to win or where you have 2 games to win it. So to be honest, man, it's cool to see where it is now. 17 teams is a lot from 6. Like, we really just and it's now we have competitive teams that really are here to win it all. Teams that know us, teams that don't know us, but it kind of gives you an edge to say, okay, we've been here since day one, so now we really got to play for what we have and play for what's to come. So I'm excited to see where the league is going and where it is now.
All right, cool. And we like to take care of our players. We like to try to plan things outside of just playing football on Saturdays. We really want Crown Town Flag Football to be a community where everybody knows each other. If we see each other outside of football, we want each other, be able to say hey and ask each other how their families are doing and things like that. What are some of the things that the league does, outside of just playing ball on Saturdays that you really appreciate and enjoy?
I really enjoy the new addition that we're trying to go to the baseball games. I'm born and raised in Charlotte, one of the few. So that alone is something that I'm looking forward to. I'm happy that the league does this. A lot of leagues, whether here or anywhere else, I haven't seen, and I've seen a lot of leagues do certain things, but this is awesome because it gets the point to where we get to know each other outside of flag football. I know we're competing against each other, but at the same time, we're still family. We're still friends, for what I know. We're still cool with each other. But at the same time, man, I really believe, like, just a baseball game. We tried to have a cookout a few years ago, which, it got rained out. But still, it's an attempt to make it more than just flag football. That we're also a family. So when we go play state championships or we go nationals, everyone just knows each other outside of football and knows each other, outside of just being across the field or across the line of scrimmage from each other. So I'm looking forward to more to come. Really, the baseball game I'm excited for. It'll be my first baseball game. Also seeing the city grow to where it is now. So I'm looking forward to that.
All right, cool, man. And let's talk speed limit. I know you guys have won 3 championships. People try to, not say that those are real championships. And your QB, Cam, has thrown 27 touchdowns last season, and people try to give him a hard time and say he's not a good QB. And, I think you mentioned that DF is going to be returning this season as well, too, to help you guys out. What is about speed limit that you think really sets it off for you guys, as well as what other teams are you looking to play against this season?
As representing speed limit, I'm totally confident in my teammates. I know my teammates. I've been with Cam actually since he's met me. He's the one that brought me to flag football in Charlotte. So I've been with Cam outside of more than just speed limit. I've been with him in Incredibles and many other teams. So I have trust in him. Many people have talks and they may have their say about him, but at the same time, I've seen and played with Cam enough to know like what he's capable of doing and how he's playing. But also the other side of the coin is that we also have more than just me or Cam or anybody else. We also have new additions to the family of speed limit. Of course, Little John is coming back, which he actually plays a vital role in speed limit. That's why we get our name, because all of us are very quick and very fast. So with DF coming back, I believe, just honestly, man, it's going to set a tone, because outside of anyone else that's played against him, nobody has ever seen him really playing 5-man. So I'm ready to see him play. I'm ready to really see what he can do really in this league, and actually now have our full team to where we actually know the game. We played enough seasons. Also, I'm ready to play against specific teams only because of talk, but also because of just to see how they are. Of course, outside of football, I'm a rugby player, so I want to see how really competitive teams are. Violators is one team I'm ready to play for because we already know each other. I've known some of those guys since I've stepped on the football field, flag football. They're pretty edgy. I believe we can beat them. Honestly, they're not to say that they're not good, but I know them enough. I'm confident enough to know that we can all come together and I can get all my teammates together and say, look, man, we can take on anybody that comes against us. Fruition as well. For all I know we're the only team, I think, or one of the teams that actually beaten Fruition. They didn't have their full squad, so I'm kind of as a win, not so much as we beat them at their full strength, but I'm ready to play them as well. They're a good team. I love playing those guys because a lot of those guys taught me how to play flag football to myself.
Good.
And also, the infamous ride out, they're ride out. I love playing those guys. Those are good guys, but I really like playing them because they actually bring out the best in me because everyone is gunning for me because I'm the smallest and I have a big mouth, but at the same time, it's for the love of the game. But those guys I love playing against along with Fruition. But they're the ones that really make me want to come out on Saturdays. I listen to music. I'm like, okay, Riders Day. I don't care about Fruition. I don't care about Violators. I'm playing Ride Out. Though they're not as big as other teams, but they're known for, they gave us our first loss in a long time. One of our first losses in a long time, and they gave us our first loss last season. So, and of course, Bex +1. They're like our little rival, but they're a good rival at the same time. They're a really good team. A lot of people sleep on them. A lot of people don't like them for whatever reason. I don't know. But there's been a lot of talk saying that they're a good team. They may not be a great team, but I played against them twice. They've beaten us twice. They don't look like much, but I'm telling you, they're a team to really, not to sleep on, but they're a team that really just, you got to bring your A game. They have great blockers. They're a great team, but they're tight-knit and they're a tight family, and that's where I hope Speed Limit gets to and then, get, growing more into. So I'm ready to play those teams, man. Those are teams I think I'm looking forward to. A lot of other teams are out there, but at the same time, a lot of teams are, I'm looking forward to playing, but those are the teams I'm looking forward to the most.
I hear you, bud, and I know Ride Out was 7-1, and you guys were 7-1, and Shake had 9 sacks, and you had 9 sacks, so it's definitely a rivalry there. But I appreciate your time on the show, Garrett.
Oh, yeah, man.
All right, cool. Now let's talk preseason here. Just going to point out a few things that I saw out there as a commish. One of our new teams, Violators, are darn good with their quarterback, Reggie. I saw a lot of players out there. They went 2-0 this past week, I guess, winning 28-6 against Straight Saucy and 29-12 versus Outlaws. And they've got some serious offensive weapons that you guys need to be on the lookout for. Speaking of Outlaws, you could definitely tell they were missing offensive MVP, Brandon Hatley. He wasn't able to make it out there to the preseason games, so Outlaws went 0-2. But please don't think that the Outlaws are not going to be good this season. They are a force to be reckoned with as well. And then, as Garrett stated early in the show, don't let Bex +1 fool you. You see those guys out there, you think maybe they're not going to be the most athletic guys. They've got some of the best blockers. I know they beat my team, the house team, the Flight, and we weren't expecting the talent that those guys had, and they really brought their A game out there. They went 2-0. They mercy ruled the Regulators, and then, like I said, they beat us, the Flight, 26-18. And then, of course, Ride Out showed up big time in the preseason. Only team to go 3-0, beating Straight Saucy, Legion of Doom, and former champions Fruition out there. And then a much improved team, Regulators, picked up the first Crown Town flag football win against Bus City. So it's great to see those guys finally pick up a win here in Crown Town flag football. All right, cool. Now it's taking us to our awards portion of our first show here on Crown Town Talk. We'll talk about the winners last season, their stats, and who I think maybe probably win these awards this year. Let's start with offensive MVP. Brandon Hatley of the Outlaws had 24 passing TDs, 1 reception TD, and 5 rushing TDs. This season, I would say look out for Reggie of Violators. I think Brandon has a great chance to repeat. As well, if we can get Mike Tarver to show up more than a couple games this season, I think he's going to be a true threat to that award. Our worst enemy award, the most interceptions, Dontavius Lineberger from Boom had 5 interceptions last season. Watch out for Mark McCullough, one of our co-MVPs of the All-Star game. That dude's a serious threat on defense. He plays for Legion of Doom, of course. Then Courtney Caldwell of the Outlaws had several interceptions last season. And then Centrell of Boom, Dontavius's teammate, is also a guy to look out for. Defensive MVP, our very own Garrick McFadden, the only 2-time defense MVP in the league. He had 1 interception, 9 sacks, and 4 safeties. I'd say he's a threat to take that. But look out for Shake. He had 9 sacks last season as well too. Nitty Buck, he's always got several interceptions and a couple sacks. Trey Cordova from my team Flight's got a few, and then Landon from Lost Boys. He can play both sides of the ball, and he tends to get up in the air and snag a few from quarterbacks as well. Rookie of the town, Shake. You guys all know him. You know his mouth. He's fun to be around. 1 passing TD, 9 sacks, and 3 safeties in his first season in Crown Town flag football. I would say watch out from the quarterback from Bex Plus One. Like I said, I think he's going to surprise you guys, and really anyone from Violators. That whole team is full of weapons, so any of those guys could be rookie of the town this season. Or Chris Leakaward, Kim Otten from Speed Limit had 27 passing TDs. That's ridiculous. I would say watch out for him again, with his Maurice, the weapons he's have, and then DF, if he's throwing the ball at DF as well too. DF can take off on you, score at any time. Watch out for AJ Pierce of Rideout. I believe he had 20-something TDs last season, so he's definitely up there. Reggie from Violators. I think Brandon has a chance to throw a couple touchdowns this season, and then Mike as well from Fruition as well. Crown Town Hacho goes out to our best captain, or one of our best captains. Kevin Burge had 1 reception TD, 1 rushing TD, 2 sacks, and 1 safety last season. I would say one of the nicest guys in the league is going to be Ryan from Bus City. Their captain. He's got a great chance of winning that award. The dude's a stand-up guy. And then Chad Beck as well too from Bex Plus One. I've only known him for a couple weeks, and the communication between me and him has been great. As well as Josh from Straight Saucy. He's a great captain as well too. He's always keeping his team involved in the league and make sure they show up on time and all that good stuff. Golden Hands Award. Who else? The Mohawk, Barry Tunsdale, 15 reception TDs last year. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I've had the chance to see him kind of grow as a flag player, and his hands are only getting stickier and stickier each season. He does not miss the ball when it's thrown in his area. I would say watch out for him to repeat. Landon from Lost Boys, Ty Elkins from Fruition, as well as Phenom. If we can get Phenom to show up as well too, you can throw it anywhere, and Phenom's going to catch the ball one-handed, two-handed, 3 fingers, whatever you think, he's going to catch it. And then from the house team, I think Ryan and Jordan are pretty big targets. I know I like to throw those guys. I can just toss it up in the air and they'll go grab it. So I'd say those guys are pretty good to look out for that award. Our Sam Mills Award, which is our sportsmanship award, went to Russ Gabriel. Not a nicer guy in the league. If any of you guys have the chance to get to know him, definitely do that. He had 14 passing TDs as a quarterback and 1 rushing TD. I would say Tyler Schultz from Lost Boys. Well, this is a list of all Lost Boys right here. Tyler Schultz, Landon, that's a great guy. NASCAR, if you know his tenacity out on the field, his competitiveness, but off the field, he's the nicest guy. And then you've got Derek as well, too. And really anybody from Bex Plus One. I had a great chance of meeting those guys in preseason, and those are some of the nicest guys that I've ever met. Our Crown Town Jet was Adrian Parsons, 8 rushing TDs with Boom last season. Watch out for him to repeat, honestly. He led the league by far. But a team that likes to run it a lot is going to be the Show. So watch out for Nitty Buck, his brother DA, to possibly take that award away. And then our Chris Jameson Award, just an outstanding overall player. Nitty Buck with 7 receptions, TDs, 4 rushing, 5 interceptions, and 1 defensive TD. I mean, that kid just got out there and balled last season. I would say look out for Jamar Wright of Outlaws. I believe he had 10 receiving TDs, and he plays both sides of the ball as well too. And then the MVP of the All-Star game, Mike Rucker for Rideout. That dude's a serious threat as well. All right, and I'm here with my good friend and buddy Zeke Ogle. You can catch his Instagram handle right around here probably. So make sure you follow him. He's got some great photographs that you guys need to check out. Zeke, just appreciate you coming out here, man. Just want to take a couple minutes of your time, kind of let the guys get to know you a little bit better. But what kind of got you into photography, man?
I just love capturing what's going on around me. What really got me into photography was I was doing a lot of stuff and I wanted to share it with my family and friends, and so photography was just a way to do that. It was just a way to share experiences with people that weren't there, so that's the biggest reason I got into it.
Yeah, and I would say, I know that you went on Nicaragua trip, dude, and I literally lived through your pictures, man. Every night I'd be on your Instagram just checking out all the wildlife and the nature there. It was
cool, so.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it, dude. I wish I could have went with you. But I know you come out, you take a lot of action shots. What maybe might be some of your favorite pics, and then also kind of what are you trying to catch out there on the football field?
Well, this is my second season taking pictures for you guys, and what I really try to capture has changed. In the beginning, I was just trying to catch the action and just get the highlights, and now I'm starting to see that my favorite pictures to take are the ones that really show, maybe after a good play has been made, the players are all like riled up, which happens a lot at you guys' league. The players are really into it, and that's another reason I like coming out and taking pictures. But those are definitely my favorite pictures to come and get.
All right, cool, man. And then also, I know on Saturday you can kind of be doing anything that you want to be doing, man. Why are you coming out and helping me out with this league and coming out and taking time to come take pictures for me?
One of the reasons is it's just a really rewarding experience. Like I already mentioned, all the guys in your league are extremely, extremely into the sport, and it shows, and so I feel like it's a great way to spend an afternoon to come, give you something that I know your teammates are going to appreciate, and also everybody in your league is going to enjoy, and so it's a rewarding experience.
All right, cool. Well, we definitely appreciate you. I know the guys making the profile pics. They share them with their families. I've had the chance to show my grandmother a couple pics of my team out there playing, so I really appreciate it, Zeke. Yeah, man. All right, cool. Now we're going to review our teams here, and I'm going to take after the Crowntown Hooligan and go in order from 1 to 16. So we'll start with Fruition. Last season went 3-5 in the regular season. Don't let that record fool you. They had a couple forfeits that they had, but as you know, they won the championship. They won the Pink Tournament in fall 2014. Some of their guys, Mike Tarver, Nick Frick, Phenom. These guys have been playing flag football forever, and Phenom, of course, led the team in touchdowns, receiving touchdowns as well as interceptions last season, so we'll look for Phenom to be another monster in the league. Right Out went 7-1. They first time playing 5-man and came out there and killed it. AJ had 25 passing TDs. Don had 11 receiving TDs. And if you've ever played against them, and I know my team did, they've got some of the best pass rushing defense out there in the league. Outlaws went 6-2. They won the 45 conference last season, and they're the only team actually to have 2 wide receivers and double-digit touchdowns. Jamar had 10 receiving, and Barry had 15. So there's a lot of weapons out there for Brandon to use. So expect them again to make a run. Like I said, don't let the preseason fool you. They didn't have all their guys out there. They were just warming up, so they will come back strong. Boom, went 4-4. Adrian led the league with 8 rushing TDs. He had 12 passing as well. Dontavius and Centrell are some of the best corners out there in the game with multiple interceptions, so definitely watch out for them to make a boom impact, as you can say. Speed Limit 7-1. This is one of their first locks. My buddy Garrett here, he's been hanging out with us the whole show. They went 7-1, and I don't care what you say, Cam's one of the better QBs. He's got crazy hip moves. He threw 27 passing touchdowns. And then if they add Little John to that too, and he comes back and they can work with 2 QBs, or even put Little John, out at wideout. Goodness gracious, that team's going to be something to mess with. Legion of Doom, we went 4-4 last year. That's Kevin's team. They added some new guys, some guys that played with us in our first season up at Lake Norman, Don and Josh. It was great to see those guys back out there. Really appreciate them guys taking their time and coming down here to play. So look out for them to make an impact this year. And then Violators, new team. They've got a ton of weapons with Reggie leading that offense, and we've got Randall as there too, their captain. That's a team that's going to be reckoned with. Bex +1, like I said, don't sleep on these guys. They have some of the best blockers in the game. It's funny that they're all brothers, so their chemistry's right. They've been playing flag football together for years, and my team went out there and we took an L against them. They're a tough team. Our referee Lou picked them as his dark horse, so definitely be on the lookout for them. And then the show, they went 3-5 last season. Kelvin leads that offense with 12 passing TDs, but look out for them. They love the power offense there with DA and Nitty running the ball. Then we got Lost Boys, who are a new team made up of a bunch of guys that have been in the league for a while. They've got a good 2-quarterback system in there that they can use with Derek and Russ back there throwing the ball. Russ had 14 throwing touchdowns last season, and Landon had 14 receiving touchdowns, just one shy of the Golden Hands Award. So I know Landon's been hungry for a ship. He's been hungry all season. He keeps messaging us. He's hitting us up on Facebook. He's ready to come out there and ball. And then you got my team, the house team Flight. Don't let the house team beat you. You know, that's just it. Don't let the house team beat you. We're coming for you. We're coming for the ship. I want that trophy at my house. I'm tired of giving it away. We went 4-4 last season. We started off pretty rocky. I think like 1-3, and then we went 3-1 in our last 4 games. I've got 2 big receivers, Ryan and Jordan. Ryan had 9 receiving touchdowns, and Jordan with 6. And then I've got a little speedster named Mel. If you know Mel, he can go up and get the ball as well too. He had 5 touchdowns with James Threat. And then I've got Uck and Trey in our backfield, leading my team in interceptions there. We've got Straight Saucy as well, 6-2 last season. They actually had the best 2 quarterback tandem with Mike Dubb and Josh Taylor back there throwing the ball. And then watch out for Shannon. He's a speedy guy. He can get on that go route. He had several touchdowns last season as well. Regulators, they went 0-8, and you would think most teams would pack their bags and not come back to the league. This team is hungry. They came back. They won their first game this preseason, and I expect them to win the game this regular season as well too. They've got Drake, Nick, a bunch of good guys. I think they added some more athletes. I saw a new quarterback for them. They were calling Drew Brees. He did look like Drew Brees. It's kind of funny. Let's see if he can throw the ball in the regular season. You've got Voodoo, Sean Austin's team. He had 11 passing TDs this past season. They went 2-4 last season, had to take some forfeits as well too. But when that team does come out and play, they're a force to be reckoned with. I look at them making a pretty good playoff run as well too. And then 2 new teams, Wildcats and Bus City. I have yet to see the Wildcats, so I'm not too sure about them. But you know, from what it seems, the other formats they play in, they're pretty a good well team, all around well team. And then Bus City, my boy Ryan's team. Some of the sweetest jerseys, you know. I love the Hornets. We're here in Charlotte, so of course I'm going to like them. I look at them and being a fun team. They win a 9-man championship, I know, in a couple other leagues. So I look at them coming out here. It's going to take a little time to learn that 5-man game, the pace about it, but I see them learn pretty quickly in catching on here. So there you have it. There's our team's reviews for this season.
We like to call this segment Interviewing the Commissioner. Okay, right now I'm here with Commissioner J.J. Brasino. We got a few questions we want to ask you right now.
All right, I'm ready.
Can you tell us where you're from?
Yeah, man. I'm one of the few Charlotteans, man. Born and raised right here in the city. This skyline looked a lot different, you know, when I grew up, but it's been pretty exciting to grow with the city and, you know, see how it grows. Graduated from Butler High School in Matthews, and then I took my talents down to Wilmington. Beautiful beach there. Graduated in 2011 with a sports leadership and recreation management degree. So this is, you know, something that I've been doing for a while and getting involved in after school.
Cool. Why do you love sports so much?
You know, it was something, you know, that I've always done as a kid. Baseball, soccer, basketball, track. You know, I didn't even know about flag football until I got to college, honestly. It was not something that I played growing up. It was something that I got involved with in intramurals. But, you know, sports takes you away from real life, man. You know, you've got work every day just to be able to stay active, have fun, and, of course, teammates, man. You know, I feel like all my teammates are my brothers, no matter what sport I've played. So, you know, just kind of having that camaraderie, you know, with other guys is really awesome.
Cool. Tell us a little bit about your flag football experience. I had the pleasure of playing with you in one of the leagues here in Charlotte. Tell us a little bit more about your experience.
All right, cool. Well, I started playing 7-man at UNCW in the intramurals there, and then we played 4-man for my fraternity there. We actually won the 4-man championship one year and made it to the championship game the next season. Lost on the last play. Wish I could have got that back-to-back title, but then we came here. I moved back to Charlotte. I played 7-man with you for a team, and you know that was fun. And then you know I really wanted to get into something else, and then you know we had the league up in Lake Norman, 5-man. The best way I can describe 5-man is backyard football, man. It is one-on-one, just kind of playing against the guy in front of you, and you better beat him or you're going to look like a fool. And there's nothing else that I love being more competitive than the person that I'm facing off against, so that's really awesome as well.
Cool. Tell me a little bit, why did you start Crown Town Flag Football?
Yeah, man, well, you know, obviously with the help of you and Mitch there, but the reason I did it, I was involved in other leagues here in Charlotte, you know, and I just didn't see the experience of the league being where I would want it to be if I was, you know, somebody in the league. Well, I was in the league, you know, but I wanted to take our experience of just playing flag football. You know, I wanted highlights, I wanted stats, I wanted to get the guys involved on a daily basis with the league. So that's kind of why I started. And I wanted to provide, affordable football as well, too, man. You look at some of these league fees, they're outrageous. We're not here to make $1 million or anything. I just want my players to really enjoy it. I'm passionate about the game, but I'm more passionate about the experience of our league. I want to make sure that the people in our league love it. They don't leave our league for another league, but just have a good time. It's all about having a good time, man. That's all it's about.
So can you tell us a little bit about the future of the Crowntown Flag Football League?
Of course, man. First, let's perfect the 5-man game. That's what I want to do. I saw that there was no 5-man game here in Charlotte in league, so we're the only league that really provides that. So let's perfect that. Let's get our teams competitive. Let's get them in nationals, winning games there, winning games at states, and then let's expand into other formats. I would love to expand into 7-7, possibly 9-on-9, and then of course, let's get some ladies involved in the league too, and do some co-ed and women's leagues as well. But my overall, my vision for the league is to one day have our own indoor facility. I want to be indoors again. Let's not worry about rainouts, but I want to have Crowntown hoops, Crowntown soccer. Man, I want us to play it all, dude. So I want to provide that all for us. But like I said, for now, we're going to perfect the 5-man game, making sure the product that we have for our teams is the best in Charlotte, just kind of the best. I want people talking about it. I want people to say, man, did you see what happened when you see what Crowntown Flag Football is doing? Like, I want us to be that talk. So that's really my vision. Let's start small. Let's perfect it. Let's grow into other formats, grow into other sports, and then let's build an empire, man.
Cool. Well, I'm Chris Birch with Crowntown Flag Football League. That was interviewing your commish.
Well, there you have it, guys. That was the first episode of Crowntown Talk. I want to appreciate my buddy Garrick, my buddy Chris. You guys know Chris, and then, of course, the photographer Zeke, who we interviewed today. Let's have some more guys on the show. If you're interested, message us. We'd love to have you. I can't wait for week 1 to get underway. That way we can talk about highlights, who stood out, Crowntown's Finest Awards, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But I appreciate you tuning in, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week.